Quality management is called the set of actions, procedures, and solutions that focus on the continuous improvement of the process of an organization internally, having as a priority increasing the level of satisfaction of a group of clients or customers. However, quality it was not always known that way. The concept has been changing over decades, mainly since it was assumed as a necessity in the business field.
The concept of quality has its beginning at the 19th century, when the Industrial Revolution was at its peak. Quality arises when the mechanical work starts to replace human labor. That is why it was necessary to have an inspector to supervise the effectiveness of the mechanisms in use. This, in a general way, was the first step into quality, and we can call it the first step as industrialization.
The second stage takes place between 1930 and 1950. Companies not only show their interest in inspection but also in statistical controls. These processes were favored by the technological advances of the time. It went from inspection to a more comprehensive control.
Between 1950 and 1980, companies discovered that statistics control wasn't enough. They discovered that it is necessary to break down the processes into stages and after a period of observation detect the mistake of each stage. In these years, the first quality systems appeared, and companies no longer gave priority to quantity of products obtained. Instead, they gave emphasis on quality.
From the 80s to the mid-90s, quality was assumed as a strategic process. This is perhaps one of the most significant changes that the concept has had, since from this moment on, continuous improvement processes are introduced. Quality, which is no longer driven by inspectors but by management, is seen as a competitive advantage. In addition, it takes the customer needs as its center of action. The management systems are consolidated and the involvement of the staff increases.
At the beginning of the 90s until today, the difference between product and service disappeared. There are no longer differences between the article and the stages that precede it. All this become part of a new term, total quality, where the customer takes more prominence than in the previous stage, where the relationship between customer and item becomes post-sale stages, which becomes the main quality indicator where the systems are continuously improved and adapted.